Hello and welcome to Play Sport for the Women's British Basketball League clash between the Caledonia Gladiators and the Oaklands Wolves. It's voting season as players battle out to be picked for the return of the All-Star game in March. 49 days have passed since the home team Gladiators had a domestic league fixture. As Coach Ortega's squad looks to get wins on the board to continue their push up the table, the team last time out suffered defeat in the trophy to eventual winners the London Lions. For the Wolves, Coach Lee Ryan will be looking for consistency in their results, currently sitting 8th in the league table as his team look for that second half of the season push. The games come thick and fast for both squads as we head into the business end of the season. Tonight, as normal, I'm joined by Rona Lightbody, and courtside we will be joined by Annie Lawrence. My name is Grant Young, and it's great to be back here at Play Sport for Women's British Basketball League action. And it's double header day here in East Kilbride. It's time to hear from both teams as we caught up with the coaches earlier on.
I'm here with head coach Lee Ryan of the Oaklands Wolves. How was your journey up here today?
It was good, yeah, short flight. We're lucky enough we're close to the airports around by us in London, so just a quick hour in the flight and we're good.
Excellent. And it's been 3 weeks mid-season break. What's the energy like in your first game back today?
Yeah, it's really high. I think we've done well by having the break. Obviously, you want to be playing games in the middle of the season, but for us, we almost used it as a second pre-season to get closer as a team, and I think we can really feel that energy today.
That's good. What's the focus been in practice for the past 3 weeks?
Obviously getting ready for this game. Caledonia are a talented team, a lot of length, and so we're going to have to defend well in the paint today. So we've been working on a few things defensively to try and take that away.
Nice. Well, that was my last question. I was going to ask if there was some couple things to focus on today especially. What would that be?
Yeah, like I said, taking away their paint game. We've got to be really good in rebounding today defensively. We're missing our center. She's off playing in the Olympic qualifiers, which is really cool, but obviously it was a big miss for us. So we're going to have to defend the paint. They've got some really good scoring at the wing as well, so we've been working on some different things, ways to apply pressure up the floor. So I'm excited to see what we do today.
That's great. Thank you very much. I'll let you get back to your team, and thanks for taking the time with me.
Cheers,
thanks. Bye. Donnie, it's been 49 long days since our last home game. I know the Gladiators fans are excited. What's the energy been like leading up to this game?
Well, all the players are just desperate to get back to playing games. I mean, we're very lucky that the whole group is very focused in practice, and they've been able to bring a high energy even despite we've had a number of weeks without any games. But there's no getting away from the fact that players want to play games.
Yeah. And what's the focus been like in the last 3 weeks? What have you been working on in practice?
I mean, we've had a good opportunity in the last few weeks to look at things we've done in the past and maybe some different ways we want to play. I think you're hopefully going to see a slightly different style of play from us today on the offensive side, but our defensive principles are our principles, so we've tried to just nail them and make sure that we're good to go today.
And it's the first time you've been playing the Wolves this season. What's the scouting report look like? What should we expect?
Well, Oaklands have put together a very good roster this year. They're probably a little disappointed with the results that they had before Christmas. I think they're probably a better team than their results suggest. They've had a few weeks together, so I'm also expecting them to maybe come out with some different styles of play to what we saw pre-Christmas, and they could be a very difficult team to play.
And I've got to give a shout out to the two high-performance players back in the lineup, Alex McIntosh and Carrie McGee.
Yep.
What led the coaching staff to choose them for the game today?
I think we're going to see a number of our high-performance players getting an opportunity to play. They're earning an opportunity. Kerry and Alex today are the ones who get the shout, but all of the players who've come into pro practice have contributed really well over the last number of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to rewarding those players with an opportunity to suit up for WBBL games.
Excellent. Well, I'll let you get back to the team. Thank you very much, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks. Donnie.
It's brilliant to hear from both coaches. The players are currently being announced on the court, so let's go with the Caledonia Gladiators. Head coach Miguel Ortega, assisted by Chantel Handy and Donnie McDonald. They line up with number 4, Robin Lewis, number 5, Samantha Roscoe, number 9, Hannah Robb, 10, Kian Omer Jones, 11, Ariadna Puyol, 12, Evenia Putra, the captain, Erin McCarrican at a 14, 15 is Bintu Lowe, 23, Leighton James, Kirsty Brown is in the team as well, and we've got 2 of the development team in with Alex McIntosh and Kerry McGee. For the travelling Wolves, head coach Lee Ryan, they've got Ree Thompson, Julie Copel, Miriam Carrasco Menendez, Fabienne Zer, Claire Abbott, Beth Sarson, Cleo Lewis Candice Gale, Georgia Smith, Shakira Wade and Alison Day. Rona, it's great to be back at PlaySport. It should be a great encounter. The teams haven't played for a while, but yeah, who are you excited to see from? Let's start with the Wolves.
The Wolves, very high scoring team. They can come out, they can run the ball very well. Someone for me, I'm looking at Ree Thompson. She's been putting up some great numbers for them. She's coming out just almost 16 points per game. Almost 8 rebounds as well again, so she's going to be putting up big numbers. She's going to be looking to control the game at that guard spot for them, looking to find her open players as well. They're coming in about 80 points a game on average, not too far off and not too dissimilar actually to our own Gladiators. So we've got the intensity and the hustle of the Caledonia Gladiators today, so it'll be interesting to see if that maybe stems the scoring flow of the Oaklands Wolves.
So let's now look at the home team Gladiators. As we said, it's been a long time since we've seen them in action here at PlaySport. Who are you looking forward to seeing tonight?
I think Lakin James has been somebody who has been quite impressive and looked to really kick on sort of that Christmas period after she'd sort of missed a game, unfortunately. And we're seeing more of that sort of player where she can come in and take over a little bit. She can score. She's got that defensive intensity and hustle. And I think she's just a great all-round player and someone you want to have on your team.
We're about a month and a half away from the All-Star game, 17th of March. They're the top players in both the women's and men's league will head to the London Copper Box for the All-Star game. Rona, let's look at the Gladiators for this one. Who would you like to see be in that team?
Can you have everyone?
Unfortunately not. You're only one starter and one backup.
I mean, in an All-Star game, you'd want to have as many players as possible, wouldn't you? People, I think Lakin James, I've sort of mentioned her at the top there. I think also it's been really nice seeing Sammy Ross come into herself. Putra, she had an awesome start to the season. Very young player, but lots to do. It's also, how well players play within their own team and their own setup, but you have no idea how players will transfer across, into an all-star setup. Very interesting matchups across the board. Obviously, one voted in by the fans, and then, the coach bringing in their choice as well. And with the Sheffield Hatters coach Vanessa Ellis, taking the reins of the North, it'll be intriguing to see who she brings in to fill in those final roster spots. Oaklands Wolves, like we've talked about, you've got Ree Thompson out there, you've got Wade as well. I think they're both, they should be putting their hands up and looking to be counted for, and they're an all-star as well. Yeah,
the thing I'm excited to see about Wolves tonight, you had Georgia Smith last season led them in scoring. She's production-wise not as high this season, but it's someone that can easily on a night have a big game.
I do, and I think also, unfortunately with Grace George and her injury and what's happened there, I mean, she was a phenomenal player for them, and her and Georgia Smith sort of orchestrated so much of the Oaklands Wolves last year, defensively and offensively. So like you say, even though we're not necessarily seeing the same output from Georgia Smith, she's maybe got a few more players around her that are able to step up. And other players are obviously, they've got more experience under their belt. They've had Beth Sarson come back into the team as well, who's a great player, got plenty of years experience under her belt at WBBL. So, quite a different look to Oaklands in the previous years, where we've maybe seen it's been more of their youth, more of their development players, getting a run out, allowing them to step into this next level. You can see on our side today, we've brought in Alex McIntosh again, who was phenomenal when she came out against the Wildcats, and also bringing in Kerry McGee. And it's great to see on our side as well, we're pushing and pulling through that talent pathway.
You've also got Oaklands without Amy West tonight. She's away in international duty with the tall ferns for New Zealand as they're preparing for pre-Olympic qualifying. So good luck to her in that. We are 37 seconds away from tip. The teams are just in their huddles getting their final words of wisdom from their respective coaches. And it promises to be an exciting game back.
It does, and I'm just buzzing to be back. I mean, I don't know about you, but, the disparity and the massive gap between, the men all came out and played at least, 5 games, regardless of whether they progressed in tournament or not. London Lions, all credit to them, put on a show last weekend, the women taking home the win. But how exciting is winning a trophy in 3 games as opposed to going out, having the Final Four weekend, and everything that came with that. So, I'd like to see in the future the women also getting to play pool stages. I don't know logistics behind the scenes and why that didn't happen. But, 6th game of the season, of the domestic season. I mean, 3rd pre-season under their belts. So, I'll be expecting a lot of cohesive basketball.
So, the referees are ready. The teams are just high five coming on the floor. The starting 5 for both teams. The visitors first. We've got Rhys Thompson, Julie Copo, Georgia Smith, Shakira Wade and Alison Day. For the Gladiators, we've got Samantha Roscoe, Hannah Robb, Ariadna Puyol, Lakin James and Kirsty Brown. Your referees tonight are Bartek Brzezinski, Chris Curley and Yassam Isse. And yeah, we're in for hopefully some Sunday afternoon action to get us all excited for. So the players are just dabbing each other up, and yeah, promised to be a really good encounter against two teams that want to get out and run. One thing you notice instantly, Rona, is the slight size disparity between the teams. The Gladiators much taller, and that's the miss for the Wolves of Amy West.
It is indeed, but you know, don't have to be tall to play ball. So where you're maybe lacking in height, that's where you'll look to get out and run. You'll maybe look to pull those bigger players away from the hoop and look to beat them on their foot speed.
So Ref Brzezinski stepping the ball up. Kirsty Brown versus Alison Day, and it's Georgia Smith with the ball, and off we go. Wolves turn over. Ball bounces off the referee. Puyol drives in, looks for the bump for the and one, but no call, and it's a nice 2-point start for the Gladiators. And Puyol, someone we're looking to see what she can do in this part of the season.
Definitely. I feel like we've not seen the best of her in the slightest, and I think she'll know that herself. I think that's a great way for her to come out and get started.
It's also very interesting to see how both teams' offense go, and then defensively as well. Great block by Samantha Roscoe under the baskets. Kirsty Brown gathers the loose ball.
Pancake days next week, that's what that was like. Big slap down on the ball.
Kirsty Brown looking to drive down inside. Left-hand hook shot misses, rebound by Smith. And Oaklands are off and running. Great play by the Oakland Wolves.
Yeah, really nice find, and just the way, you know, she moved her body around to block out Sammy Roscoe under there to give her the clear run of the hoop.
Shakira Wade with her first points of the night. Lakin James driving inside, misses it. Copo gathers the rebound, and it's back in Wade's hand. Smith step back three, doesn't go. Puyol gathers a rebound, and the Gladiators are off and running. Looking to establish both inside, but it's going for the three of Samantha Roscoe. Ball's up, Smith's got it.
Quite quick play at the moment, I find, for the Gladiators. You know, they're kind of going in, attacking the hoop quite quickly, or that quick pull-up shot.
And that's a little bit different from the start of the season when they were a bit more using the full shot clock.
Yeah, using a bit more patience, moving the ball around. I think that's something Oaklands are doing well at the moment. We saw them get out and run the lane, fine, grand, lovely basket, but also they're moving the ball around. The more you make the other team play defense, the more tired they're going to get.
Oakland's captain had the ball there in Davis, almost turned over but gathered back, but referee blows the whistle. Foul on Kirsty Brown, and it's an Oakland sideline ball. It'll be interesting to see, we talked about before in the broadcast about foul trouble for the Gladiators. We don't have Chantel Handy coming off the bench, so maybe a little bit less depth, and it'll be interesting to see how they manage those situations. Yeah,
it's actually something we were talking about before, and I caught up with Chantel, and it's actually sometimes having a smaller rotation's easier because everyone can be a bit.
And one, Reese Thompson scores.
And that is why I pulled her out as my highlight at the top of the game.
Reese Thompson there, nice spin move. And shooting the and one.
It's one of those ones she makes it look easy. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that next time I play. Then you actually realise the skill level that goes into things like that.
Yeah, Thompson does a bit of everything for them. 15.8 points, 7.8 rebounds, and it's Oakland's out for a quick 5-2 lead. It's a 2 if it goes.
That's what Hannah Robb does. She is a bona fide shooter. Love to see her getting on the scoreboard early.
And another quick score there for the Gladiators. It looks like a different tempo set in the second half of the season.
And I think if you're going to be left open, you've got to threaten, because if you don't, defenders aren't going to defend you, and then they're just going to clog up the key.
Another foul on the Gladiators as Sammy Roscoe looks to.
Yeah, it's just too hard a hedge. Yeah. You know, we talk about hedge and recover or stunt and recover, but on that one, you know, she's just come out and led too much for her hips. I think those smart work though as well by the player bringing the ball round to initiate that contact and make her come into them.
Ball goes back in the back court. It looked like the foul was in the front court, so they shouldn't have been allowed to go there. But the refs play on. Georgia Smith drives, almost turns it over, rushes the shot. Ball in Gladiators' hand, and they're out and running. Kirsty Brown going coast to coast with it. Almost loses it. The bench looking for a foul there. Ball's back in Puyol's hand. Sammy Roscoe fakes the shot.
Great take.
Great drive inside. And Gladiators take their first lead. We've
And
got 7 minutes on the clock.
See, Oaklands have scouted her as a three-point shooter, and that's why with that little head fake gets to the hoop.
Wade pull up 2, and that's a lovely looking jump shot.
She is going to be a problem if they let her do that all game today.
Shakira Wade, she averages 11 points a game. Kirsty Brown gets the rebound, and a foul is called. Did he indicate for 2 shots?
He has
He
indeed.
has.
I think you would say that she was trying to put the ball up, but she wasn't able to get her arms up because they were being held down. But I guess that's one of those ones. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But I heard the slap up here, so it was definitely the foul.
So Kirsty Brown shooting the first of 2 shots.
First one no good. Maybe a little bit more height on the second.
She's a 67% shooter for the season from the line. And makes the second one. As we're tied up here at 7-all. Full court press that we've seen that Miguel Ortega establish throughout the season. As Georgia Smith looks to get it over half court and does just in time. She's going all the way herself and makes it. Tough play.
Wolves doing a really great job of making it look like there's no defense there at times. Just getting to the hoop.
Great spacing by Wolves to create that opportunity. It's a 3-throw line jumper for Hannah Robb, not good, and the rebound's gathered by, I think, Wade to push it to Georgia Smith. And the Wolves have come to play up and down the floor. But the stumble.
If you were Coach Miguel, would you be calling a timeout right now?
Oh, foul's called there.
Yep. Oh, it's like I read the mind.
And it's a timeout by Coach Miguel Ortega. It is 9 points to 7 in Wolves, the visitors' favour. We've got 6 minutes and 19 on the clock. And it's been an intriguing start to this game, Rona. You're talking about 2 teams getting back in the rhythm and playing games. Wolves have come out looking to push and get to the hoop.
I think, Oaklands have come out with their game plan. I think Gladiators, they're going with their game plan, but Gladiators have now got to try and raise their pace in defence. Not necessarily their offence, because your offence is your offence. And they've got to make sure, they're getting back on the transition. Also, why is a player being able to pick the ball up in their opposite key and get all the way down the other end for a layup, pretty much unopposed. Lakin had some really nice defence on her, but should there not be some rotations round, coming through for the help. Also the foul count, Gladiators cannot be affording to be getting players racking up the fouls. That's them now obviously gone into the shots. They've got another 6 minutes and 19 seconds, where every time they foul, they're going to put them on the free throw line.
And from Oaklands, what do you think Coach Lee Ryan will be looking for now? His team's made a great start to this game. Well, you'll be impressed with their offense, but you'll also know that the Gladiators will adapt.
Yeah, and I think the minute you see another coach call a timeout pretty quick into the first, you've got them riled, that whatever they've come out to do isn't quite working. I think he'll be saying to his players, keep doing what you're doing. Again, you can always raise your intensity, you've always got levels. So he'll be like, keep this going. They maybe don't have quite the same depth on the bench, so they're going to want to go out, they're going to want to start to assert themselves and look to extend their lead.
It's Oakland's ball on the baseline. 6 minutes and 19 on the clock in this first quarter. Already looks a little bit more intensity in the Gladiators defence. Popel's open for 3. Rebound, Lakin James.
Been too low, checking in and immediately making her impact there on Koppel.
Lakin James pulling up for the shot. She makes it. That's a great confidence booster for Lakin.
It is, and that's what she can do. We've seen her busting, and we've seen her, working hard. Perfect open shot. She's going to knock that down.
And she'll look to improve in that 28% average for the season from 3 for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say she's come out shooting that much this season so far, but I definitely think, she's finding her way in this team and
Great
what her
screen
role is.
from Oaklands, allowing Thompson to drive to the basket. Puyol finds Lakin in the corner. Back-to-back threes, is it? It's not. Rebound by Smith.
Great look though, great idea. And you can see Oaklands are just looking to really push up on that first rebound, and that's where obviously Roscoe found that loop over the top to get that outlet pass.
Fabian Zier's in the floor as well. It's a foul, and Oaklands will be going to the line to shoot 2. It's a long way to go in that foul trouble, as you touched on, Rona.
Yeah, and Wade and Thompson are doing such a good job, you know, of attacking. They're looking for that one-on-one. They're looking for that isolation. That's where Gladiators have got to be playing good team defence, so that, you know, get past the first one fine, but you've got a second and a third and a fourth person waiting for you in there.
Subs are in for Oakland. And moves at the line for 2. Shakira Wade shoots about 64% from the line. Misses the first.
I mean, Oaklands do, though, have the best free throw percentage in the league, so it's not really a team you want to be putting there, you know, with their 77%.
She misses both. Potentially the commentator's curse there goes in the Gladiators' favour.
I always wonder if you should apologise.
Oh, shooter's fouled as Hannah Robb goes for the 3. She'll go to the line shooting 3 shots, and it looks like subs are in for both teams. Wade checks out. She's made an absolute blistering start to this fixture.
She has, you know, she's got lovely pace, really nice ball handling skills, and she's going to be someone who can find her score.
A couple of subs for the Gladiators is Puyol, Roscoe and James checks out. Robin Lewis, Evenia Putra and Erin McCarrican checks onto the floor.
Hannah Robb, I feel like she's come out with more of a killer instinct already. You know, we've seen her putting up some nice shots. She's drawn some fouls. And that's exactly what you want. You want your scorer like that to be putting their assertiveness on the game early.
92% shooter from the line. She makes the first one, makes the second one.
I momentarily forgot it was 3 there. I was like, nobody's moved.
Because it knew it was going in.
Yeah, that's true.
And she makes all 3. Gladiators lead by 4, 13 points in 9. We're under 5 minutes to go. And Gladiators continue with this full court press. Carrasco Mendez steps in. Beth Sarson's in the game as well. Almost a steal. Robin Lewis right on her. Late into the shot clock now. Looking to fill shot. It opens up, but Vintu with the block. Almost turns it over. Gets into Hannah Robb's hand. Trailers into Evenia Putra. Turns into trouble. And the foul's committed. Again, Gladiators trying to push that ball down. Both teams really trying to push that ball down, actually.
They are, and you know, that's where you want to be playing. That's where you're going to score, right? It's down at either end of the 3-point line. Wolves did a really good job there closing down Putra. Just unfortunate, you know, to drag that foul there.
Robin Lewis tries to get it in on the baseline. Erin drives in. Ball back into Robin Lewis's hand. Hannah Robb for 3. Doesn't go. Putra fighting for the rebound. She gathers it. Goes back in. Probably looking for a foul called there.
I feel like it must have come off someone or something must have happened, you know, for the trajectory of the ball to have been down like that. I don't really get physics, but you know,
I know that
I'd like to say the law of physics would
say that
the ball
XYZ,
would have
yes,
should have travelled up. Interesting now as well, both teams looking very different to the opening sort of 5 minutes, so you know, what will these second wave of players do?
Thompson remains on the floor for the Oakland Wolves. Beth Sarson, loads of experience in the league. Former GB under-20s. This is our 6th season. Former Leicester Rider.
Referees, I feel, calling it tight. You know, maybe, although they both had a game, you know, for the trophy run, maybe just been like, okay, so we don't come back and it's a bit fast and loose. Both teams now obviously in the penalty. Sending each other to the line.
I think that's only Oakland's
fourth
foul.
Oh, that was the fourth. Apologies. Yeah. The scoreboard are on it today.
They were perfect. They were quick. And
but now they're in the penalty anyway.
And now they're in the penalty, yes. So next time both teams racking up the fouls early. And yeah, it's going to be curious to see how the second units go for each team. Obviously Oakland's without Weston. No, it's a turnover. Thompson's pushing it down. Robin Lewis back. Does a great job. Thompson lefty jumper doesn't go, and Erin McCarrican gathers the rebound, having turned the ball over.
You feel like she could maybe have got a better option off that.
Hannah Robb for 3. Doesn't go again, but McCarrican gathers the loose ball.
Sitting in a big sort of 2-1-2 zone in there.
Oh. And you saw what the Gladiators were looking for there. Good play, but Putra wasn't able to gather the ball under the basket. Evgenia was someone that came out early in the season, especially domestically, really impressed.
She did, and you know, she then went and had away and had a really great campaign with the Ukrainian national team. Again, still very young, many years on her side, you know, that she's still going to play, but great to see the impact she's already having at such a young age.
Yeah, 19-year-old Evgenia Putra, averaging over 12 points a game. Bintud plays good defense there to put off Day. Coach Ryan looking for a foul. Hannah Robb, 1 foot jump shot, doesn't go again. But Evgenia Putra gathers rebound, fakes the drive, left hand, doesn't get the shot, but goes to the line shooting 2. An impressive play there.
Yeah, she made sure she got the foul on that one, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to be deliberate and you've got to be strong when you go to the hoop. You can never go to the hoop looking for the call, because you're not going to get it.
Lakin James checks back in, and looks like Thompson's checking out, and Wade's back on the floor. Both teams already going pretty deep into their benches.
And I think that's what you've got to do in sort of the opening 10, 12, 13 minutes, is get people you know are going to have to play minutes, get them on the court. You don't want them getting too cold, you want them getting a feel for the game early.
Putra averages 69% from the line, misses the first, misses them both, but again, McCarrican fighting for the rebound. Foul against number 14 for the Wolves, Lewis Gale. She just checked in on the floor there. And the game's kind of gone from that early tempo to it's a bit slower.
It has, and that always tends to happen. I mean, you cannot maintain that pace the entire game, but that's where you've just got to make sure you make it as impactful as possible when you do have runs and you have flurries like that.
And I suppose that's the difference, of maybe the difference between the first and second units.
It is, but that's where as well, if you are in that second wave, as we call it, you want to push in and show why you should be further up that rotation.
Garrigan makes the free throw, and we're seeing more rotation from the Oaklands bench as Copel and Smith check back in.
You maybe see as well Oakland's going with a slightly different rotation round today. Gail doesn't usually play, you know, she's about 3.5 minutes a game, whereas coming in, hitting the court in the first quarter, going to be looking for more from her today.
Oaklands were close last time round to the 8 seconds, but comfortably make it over this time round. Julie Copel, former Austrian international as well. A team full of talent, Wolves, looking for Wade. Turner and jump shot, that is nice. Makes the 2.
Nothing but
14-11. This is Copel's first season at Oakland. She spent the last 3 seasons at Seven Oaks, unfortunately no longer in the league. Erin McCarrigan fight through that screen, and now we've got a wedgie.
Oakland's, you know, their zone is really causing problems there for Gladiators. You can see that. You can see the players cutting through on the base, probably checking that they are sitting in that zone, see what Oakland's are going to do to react to that, but maybe they need to pause a minute in the key, make them have a think, having to collapse inside, looking to overload maybe one side, and look for the open shot as well. But at the moment, you know, Oakland's just doing a really good job.
Ball's in from Robin Lewis on the baseline.
Some tough screens in there.
Another 3-pointer doesn't go for Lakin James, and again Oakland's looking to get out quick, but Erin McCarrigan shuts them down. Stops Smith for 3. McCarrigan gathers another rebound.
And that's what you've got to do. You can see the defender and McGarrigan having to run back.
Oh, it's a steal. Lakin James turns it over. Georgia Smith off, down and running. Doesn't go. Looked like she picked up the ball pretty early. Don't know if she was looking for support. And Robin Lewis is out on the run again.
Robin doing a really nice defense on that one.
Foot violation, kick ball, and it is a Gladiator sideline ball. Wade looks like she's hurt herself there a wee bit.
Yeah, she's just kind of clutching. You're wondering if it was a bit of a knock. Was it off a pick?
We've got just over a minute and a half to go. Gladiators 14, Oakland Wolves 11. Lakin James for 3. Big time 3 for the Gladiators there. Puts it out to a 6-point lead. Oakland's off and running. Big full court pass there. And a foul's called.
Really nice work though by Lakin James. She was a scorer down here, sort of to our right. Managed to be the first one back onto that baseline. Nice work though on the baseline by Beth Sarson,
Yeah,
turning
really
her body around to then
force the foul.
force
Yeah.
Lakin, even though she didn't really move into her, to then be in her space.
Yeah, clever play there. And with both teams in the penalty, Wolves step up to the line. Sarson shooting for 2. Makes the first. Shoots 78% for the season from the line. And it's a 4-point game. Robin Lewis with the ball. Great play. Oh, foul called. Looked like he got the block, but probably caught the arm of Eddie McCarrican as well.
Yeah, it looked like Wade did come across and do a really nice job. You can see though that's where the space, they're having to attack, kick. They know that the Gladiators can shoot, so they're doing a really good job of shutting that down. And you can see they're also extending their zone out, so they're actually sort of tandem teaming whoever's bringing the ball up the court, and then they're settling back into it. It's an intense, good
Shakira
zone.
Wade continues to look very uncomfortable with her back. And that'll be a concern for the Wolves because she's been such a big player in this early goings.
She has, and it could be one of those ones you can run off, and it's probably better. Usually if it's your back, if it's a bit of a spasm, you're best just to keep going. The minute you stop, that's when it's not great.
6 points for Wade so far. Again, the Gladiators trying to trap the Oaklands offense in their own half court. Gladiators as well extending their defense quite far out past the 3-point line. It's a drive in. Great screen set by Sarson.
Yeah, tough.
Not usual. Usually the other way around, the big set the scene on the guard, but
Yeah.
Oakland's
free throw.
given Putra the jump shot. And it'll be interesting to see if that's a theme, if they've given players like Avenia and Bintu that space.
Yeah, we saw it in a previous game, remember? And actually once Bintu started just driving at it, Essex, because Darcy Reese was just sitting in the middle of the zone.
Oh. Coco falls to the floor, push on, I think it was on Putra.
It was indeed 12.
That's her first foul of the game. As both teams are in foul trouble, they take a trip to the line.
And that's sometimes the problem, although it's great you're getting yourselves to the line, it makes the game quite bitty, it makes it quite stop-start.
91% Coppola is from the line. Just over 17 seconds left in the quarter. Makes them both. Heading into the potential last play of the quarter here.
Yeah, Gladiators will be looking to hold the ball, get the last shot, not give Oaklands a chance to go back down the floor.
Eddie McCarrican almost in the corner, steps in for the 2, rims out. Rebound gathered by Day, and that's the clock expired. An entertaining first quarter here. The Caledonia Gladiators lead the Oakland Wolves 19 points to 15. And a pretty high scoring game to start.
I would say so, but we can see that Oakland's Wolves coming in just under 80 points a game, Gladiators not far over 80 points a game, so we know they're going to put points on the board. It's going to come down to defence. We know both teams can score, but what team can stop the other from getting those scores, getting those easy looks? Oakland's have been good, have been disruptive at times, but you find for the Gladiators, I think, the Wolves are still getting to the hoop far too easy, but I mean, Wade and Thompson are obviously class players, they're able to create their own things. Georgia Smith, smart player, smart head on her shoulders, she's going to find players that are open. You can see lots of good things going on in the Oaklands Wolves side and on the same side of the Gladiators.
It was interesting there as well. You look at the impact both team starters had compared to their bench. Both teams getting Gladiators 3 points off the bench. The Wolves only had 2. We saw quite a lot of rotation from both coaches. Is that something you think we'll continue to see, and we'll see a bigger impact from both teams' benches?
I think they'll have to, because they're looking to play some high, whether it's high, fast basketball on their offense, like we've seen from Oakland's Wolves, or whether it's the intense defense of Caledonia. If you are giving it your all, there's no way you should last 40 minutes. So you're going to have to rotate around your players. Ooh, that had some thrust on it. It was so high, just with the players shooting the 3-point backwards. So, you know, they're going to have to rotate through their players. People, if they go into foul trouble, you know, we've got a couple of players sitting on 2 fouls. 1 for Gladiators, 2 for the Wolves. So, you know, quite evenly matched on that side as well. Oh.
We were just watching a half-court shot here at the end of the quarter. That was 2 quite good attempts, but leading scorer for the Gladiators is Lakin James. She's made 2 of our 4 3-pointers. The Gladiators have shot 28% from 3. Leading the scoring for the Wolves is Jagira Wade with 6 points like Lakin James. The players are coming back out on the floor here. And it's a 4-point lead for the hometown team.
Yeah, so we've got Putra coming in, obviously, from Kirsty Brown from their starting, but apart from that, they've rotated back round to all 4 starters.
Referees are ready to go, the players are all on the court. Ready for the second quarter. Smith in possession of the ball, picks it up and finds Copel. We've seen a lot of that Smith to Copel early on.
Yeah, and Copel obviously having been at Seven Oaks.
Unlucky in the left-hand layup. Ravenia Putra pushing the ball after the rebound. Hannah Robb in the corner, but tries to find Samantha Roscoe. That's potential from Hannah, missing a couple of shots early, then looking to find Sammy Roscoe.
Yeah, and I think she did have her sort of in the pin, maybe just need a little bit more height on the pass, but I can't quite tell the angle, but with the backboards, you know, that was maybe a bigger factor than it looks like from where we were sitting, because we were looking down on it as opposed to in line with it.
Puyol trying to find someone on the inbound, finds Roscoe. Ends up in Hannah
Big
Robb's
mismatch
hands.
with her on the inside there.
Puyol drives baseline, looks Lakin James for the 3, doesn't go. And the ball belongs to the Oakland Wolves. You've seen the Gladiators taking that extra pass sometimes and open shots.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to have to do, because that's how you're going to beat the defense, is by doing that. Yes, you'll get the odd one that goes up if you force it, but overall you're going to have to find the open look.
Smith's controlled their offense really nicely for the Wolves so far. It's in Alison Day's hands. She pulls up just inside the key, and the ball's in Puyol's possession as she passes it down quickly to Lakin James. Looked to establish Putra, but didn't happen for them. Now she finds her. Cuts back inside, the big to the small. Ball moving super from the Gladiators, and a
Really
great 2-point
nice.
basket.
I'm not sure if every single pass that went to each player was meant to go to that player, because I'm not sure if it was supposed to be.
Hands, and it's a Gladiator ball. Great defense on the baseline from the Gladiators. And that's where Hannah Robb can make a massive contribution.
No, it is, and she has some really nice defensive plays. She's played 3x3, you know, for Scotland, and also, you know, in the 5-on-5 setup.
She's a big stay of the GB setup now with her defense and her shooting. Calling the play.
What you notice is Gladiators are always moving. You know, there's always something going
Roscoe
on.
takes the shot, and we've got a
3-second
3-second call on Putra.
Coach Miguel counts obviously differently, because he is not getting
Spanish
that
time,
call.
wasn't it? It's always a call. I think it would be interesting if they called it every time. Wouldn't end up with a flowing game. Great drive baseline from Wade, doesn't go, but gathers her own rebound. She's up against the trees, and one. Shakira Wade continuing to impress so far.
Yeah, really nice stand there by Hannah Robb on the baseline. She didn't get it, that's fine. She was also trying to like safety roll herself out the way, but there's no reason why Wade should be coming down with that rebound when you've got Pujol and was it Roscoe or Putra in there as well.
Yeah.
You know, and then giving away the foul, and she's getting a score. I mean, we know Wade can play. They're going to have to box her out. They're going to have to. She's so springy. They need to put a body on her.
And on the back of that, Putras checks out. Kirsty Brown returns to the floor.
She's someone else we've seen some sparks from throughout the season. You know, she's come out domestically and on the European stage, had some good games. Is that maybe a sign of tiredness by the Wolves, not lining up for that second free throw?
I think it's also just Gladiators tend to, on the outlet, go quite fast. But we're talking, we've got 8 minutes to go in the half. It's 21 points to 18. Rob in the corner, ball's up for three, doesn't go. Kirsty Brown aggressive in the rebound, puts the ball back in. A great layup by Kirsty Brown as she now runs back on defence. Again, the Wolves pushing their own tempo here.
They are literally like a pack, aren't they? They're here to get up the floor and play.
Great drive inside, but probably put off by some brilliant defence by Kirsty Brown. Roscoe doesn't gather the rebound. It ends up in Copel's hands. And Claire Abbott with the ball, and the foul's called on Hannah Robb.
That feels tough. That feels like a tough call.
Thompson checks in for Wade.
But again, you know, that stemmed from not securing the defensive board. Again, find a man, put a body on them, get the box out, get the ball.
And that sometimes seems to be the Gladiators' issue. One maybe lapse leads to something else, which leads to then either a bucket or a foul, and that'll be something they'll look to lock down. Great drive inside, a great 2-point shot by Alison Day.
Yeah, she's been unlucky with a few of her baskets. You know, they've not quite gone in. They've
First
been off
points
the
for her,
mark.
that was.
Yeah, but she's had the look, so you know they're going to start falling eventually.
Seen Sammy Roscoe drive inside. Lakin James out for three, doesn't go, and another open shot doesn't go the Gladiators' favour.
And the only way you're going to get a team out of zone is by shooting the lights out, you know, and forcing them to have to come out of it.
It's 23-20, 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. You can see the Gladiators looking like they're changing up their defence, trying to keep the ball out of Smith's hands. Ends up inside to Copel, double teamed, ball ends up somewhere. What we call it? Jump ball. Gladiators ball.
Yeah, nice work by James down there, although she doesn't have the height on Copel, using her fast hands to get in and be a nuisance. But Wolves are not going away.
No, it's interesting that they're playing their defence. They're trying to almost fill the paint out to keep the ball out of players like Kirsty Brown's hands. Seem to be coming out and pressurising Sammy Roscoe at the three-point line, but we're seeing open looks for Lakin James and Hannah Robb. Gladiators continue to run this offence. A hint of a travel, but Pucha goes, not Pucha, Puyol goes all the way to the basket, left-hand layup. She's come out looking a wee bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and you can see if you get through that first line of the zone that the help doesn't always seem to be there. So that's what they're going to have to do. Whole Gladiators bench are up. I think they're convinced that came off Copel there.
Referee Rosinski's out talking to Miguel Ortega. Thumbs up between the refs. Don't know if that's an agreement thumbs up, but hey oh. And Smith inbounds it today. Great crossover there. Forces the mismatch swap. Thompson at the top of the three-point arc. Pull up quick three-pointer. Ball ends up in Day's hand. No rebounder for the Gladiators, and they get lucky in that one again.
Yeah, Coach Miguel is not going to be happy. None of the coaching staff will be happy with that.
Hannah Robb hard to the floor, looked for the and one. Layup wasn't good. Eventually the two refs called it, and she'll shoot for two again.
I feel like we should be much deeper into the second than we already are. You know, it's only 3.5 minutes in, but we've been up and down quite a bit. I think, you know, Wolves at the moment definitely the ones with their tails up. They're playing hard, they're playing intense. And it's almost like they're out muscling the Gladiators at times. And we know they're in the weight room, we know they're in there working hard. So it's definitely not because they've not got the strength.
Hannah Robb continues to be 100% from the free-throw line. Gladiators up by 7. Smith today. Drive inside. Great offense there. An easy 2 points for the Oakland Wolves again.
Yeah, and then they're just retreating back into that big zone every time. So Gladiators are going to have to get more stops to beat the zone up the floor, or they're going to then just have to play a nice patient offense.
Almost had the zone, a little bit of confusion there in the zone there. Leaves the open shooter, and Roscoe misses the three. Rebound gathered by. Oh, I don't think they'll agree on that one. Overruled by referee Chief Rosinski. But we've got Copel down, but she's back up, and it is a Gladiators baseline ball.
I think she maybe took a hit to the face or something there, just the way, you know, she's gesturing and holding.
I'm really enjoying Copel's impact in this game so far. through the legs pass. It looks like Roscoe gathers her own rebound. Fine in amongst it, doesn't go. And Thompson's off and running. She's dangerous in the open floor. Finds Abbott for 3. Great shot there. Oakland Wolves. Timeout called by the Caledonia Gladiators. 27-22.
And Grant, what would you say? What have you noticed from the Wolves? Is it how you expected them to get and play? I know we watched a few bit of their games back recently. Their style of play, you know, they like to run and gun.
Yeah, and just a score correction, it's 27-25 after that 3. I'm impressed with how they play off Wade, how they play off Thompson. And Smith just controls the ball so well for them. They've got loads of different offensive threats throughout the floor at any time, and they're obviously missing West today, but you've seen it, it's kind of next man up mentality for them and being able to kind of produce a brilliant 5, and the Gladiators haven't been able to put them away so far.
No, and what do you think Gladiators need to do? Because we can see that Wade and Thompson and the way Georgia Smith's allowed to distribute, and now the way that Day's getting in around the hoop, what do they need to do? Is it a collective thing on defence, or?
It's almost as if when the first players beat on defence that the help's not there for the Gladiators so far. There's a lot of open layups as they maybe get set a screen and go round, and it'll be interesting to see coming out of this timeout. That's now 2 timeouts. Miguel's called off the back of some great play by the Wolves to see, and then the defence has picked up after them. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting timeout this one to see what's changed in the defence structure. Oaklands are very much in depth in their zone on defence, so it's a big 5 minutes for both teams now.
It is, you know, you always want to go into the locker room with the lead. It doesn't mean you're going to take the win overall, but you want to at least have the momentum. And at the moment, the momentum, I definitely think with Wolves, I definitely think Wolves are sort of controlling the game at the moment. So Gladiators going to be looking to take some of that back. Interestingly, Wolves looking like they're coming out and picking up full court, which we've not seen from them recently.
Oaklands lead the quarter 10 points to 8 as the Wolves sit back into their zone. Switched on to a bit of man-to-man defence, and the 3 goes. Erin McCarrigan. We saw a lot of this version of Erin at the tail end of last season. We've not really seen it yet this season, so it'll be interesting to see what scoring impact she has heading into All-Star game and the playoff push.
And I'm excited to see her back on the floor because she brings so much maturity
Lake
and
and James
experience.
downhill all the way. Hannah Robb for 3. Doesn't go, but rebound gathered by the Gladiators. Ball saved. Sorry, Rona, for interrupting you there. Late into the shot clock. Hannah drives and 1. Brilliant drive by Hannah Robb. The 3 ball not going for her. Gets the rebound, looks to drive inside.
And patient as well, because you saw her come off the screen the first time, and I was like, oh, is she going to go for this sort of high arcing pull up 3 there? But then she just, you know, brought the ball back round onto her right hand. And you're finding as well with the Wolves, when you get through past sort of that free throw line, for some reason that back line of the zone or whoever's supposed to be there isn't, and you are getting good looks. We saw it in the first play of the game with Ariadna. We saw it just there as well with Hannah.
And we're seeing some open shots from Lake and James, Hannah Robb, but that drives an option. Oakland quick timeout after the Ortega timeout there. Gladiators now lead by 7. So a bit of a turnaround there. Some great play at the timeout by the Gladiators. A couple of intense defensive stops, but also the transition game.
Yep, and you wonder, is that because, although it never had any overall effect, but they came out and that was the first time we'd seen them sort of pick up or try to stunt it on a full court press. And then they maybe just a little bit later falling back into that zone, whereas every other time when they've scored or a shot's gone up, maybe 1 or 2 have crashed, the rest have got back and set up, so where they just pulled out a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if we see them push up again, the Wolves, or if they'll just keep going back and sitting and clogging up the key.
Looking at the rebounding stats so far, the Gladiators out in front, 28 rebounds to Oakland's 14.
I would say though, the Wolves' rebounds have been more impactful. I know that they're being out-rebounded, but actually they've had some really nice ones, and a lot of the time that's what's kept them in the game. Are they putting up maybe more shots? I don't quite have that stat for me to enforce the Gladiators to be getting more rebounds, or Gladiators just not converting at the same rate. But I definitely remember quite a few big Wolves rebounds, more so than I do Gladiators.
Hannah Robb makes the and 1. Impressive 3-throw shooting for the GB International.
Yeah, you know, she's already surpassed her normal points per game where she's just under 8, so hopefully she continues to build on that throughout the game.
10 points personal for Hannah Robb. A great first half from her. Driving inside, we'll be hoping to make some more of her threes. Smith drives baseline, pops it out today, and it's an easy 2 for the Wolves.
Basically dragged 3 players and really nice dump inside for the open shot.
Lakin James, quick pass into Kirsty Brown. Spins baseline, travels called.
It's a nice move, but yeah, you saw the foot go down before she got the ball on the floor, which is maybe why she got such a big space.
Such a good that space, yeah. And it's probably not on the back of that, but Putra enters for Kirsty Brown. Wolves struggling to get the ball in court. Smart play, playing it off the leg of Samantha Roscoe.
That's where you always want to try and out-jump it so it trickles onto court.
And it's ball just in play, just in time from the Wolves. Julie Copel out today, fakes the shot, drives inside, spin moves, right hand finish. Brilliant play by Day. She's up to a quick 8 points in this quarter.
Yeah, you can see why she's captain.
Bounce pass inside, Eddie McCarrigan under the hoop.
Just too deep. Wondered if she'd maybe try and get a wee up and under, but you know, I think smart choice in the end because it'd been a really forced under pressure shot.
Going back today, she's on 8 points, 2 rebounds. Really impressive contribution.
She does a really good job at getting free, doesn't she? And just finding her space.
Averages just over 12 points a game. Day. Putra looks to spin left hand, brilliant off the glass. It's 35-29. We're just under 4 minutes to go in the half. And the ball's in of a Reliant Smith's hands.
And they look like they're going to try and isolate that in the blocks, and why not? If you can just go to work on your post player, it should be an easy 2.
Copel under the basket, gets her space. Is unlucky. Putra may be slow to move in to help with the defence, and Copel will go to the line shooting 2.
I know, because on that last one where Gladiators were pushing up, I was going to say Putra's sitting behind her on that sort of full court press. I know you've got to hedge your bets, but she needs to be careful that she doesn't come over the back. Whereas on that one, she'd actually kind of got better position, but it was a really nice pass inside. Koppel just used her full body. Putra's over the back. Cheap foul.
And that'll be, I think, Putra's 3rd foul of the game. She checks out, Bintu comes onto the court. Ref's called to the table.
You look at Oaklands Wolves, you know, and you look at where they're sitting on the league, down joint 8th with Manchester, and they look like a better team than that, don't they?
Sorry, I was seeing what the referees are saying.
I think they're calling the foul on the floor. Yeah, because she hadn't
scored.
Yeah.
The refs must have said it was good, or asked the table if it was good. Some confusion there for everyone here, but shooting 2 is Julie Copel. Brilliant at the line. She's a 91% shooter, we've already said. Impressive output from the line. She makes them both, and it's a 4-point game. Table a bit slow, calling the subs off the shot. And it's very start-stop, kind of a few minutes there in this quarter.
It has been. It feels like it's been quite a long quarter. You know, the first one, nice find over the top of that first line of defence.
McCarrigan for 3 in the corner, she makes it. That's 2 big shots by Erin McCarrigan in this quarter.
And that's what she does, and that's why she's your captain. She can, you know, you can let her sit, and she'll come out and she'll produce.
She's up to 9 points in the game. The Gladiators' defense steps out, but a drive inside. Beautiful finish by Wade. Continuing to kind of lead this team. The pace all of a sudden ramped up here. Lakin James out to Hannah Robb. Roscoe fakes the shot against Day, drives inside. 3 seconds called again. That's the second one. Bintu this time.
Yeah, and that's basic errors, isn't it? Especially when someone's already been called for, and you're like, okay, we know the refs are looking for it. So you should be working yourself in and out and in and out. And shake it all about.
It's interesting with Smith out the game. Thompson doing a lot more of the ball handling for the Wolves. They're looking to establish Wade in the corner. Tough pass. Definitely not the one needed. And it's in the Gladiators' hands. James looks to establish Sammy Roscoe under the basket. Foul called on number 14, Lewis Gale.
Yeah, I think Roscoe had identified, she had the space, she probably had the bit of strength on her on the inside. She'll go to the line now. Oh no, she won't. They're only on 3. Apologies. I'm ahead of myself.
19-year-old Lewis Gale checks out. Fabian Zier checks back in, balls out to Roscoe at the top of the 3 points. Lakin James finds space, drives against Day. Nothing called there. Ball ends up in the Gladiators' hand. Drive inside, brilliant offense
really nice
there.
work by Lowe. Really nice work by Lowe to make sure she kept the player out.
And a brilliant drive by Hannah Robb, but I just saw the help there by Bintu to play the screen, knock the player over. Moisture technician on the floor.
Yeah, I thought she'd maybe put her foot in the baseline and
That's
the
what I thought
turnover,
as well.
but
Yeah.
just wanted a little bit of a quick wipe.
Almost another turnover called there, but it remains a Wolves ball. And that's what Hannah Robb just offers.
Yeah, intensity and hustle all the time. Every second she's on that floor.
And we've got a warning from referee Rosinski on the coach of the Oakland Wolves. He's obviously not happy about something. And it's a turnover. That's
You could
Gladiators,
see that was
they're
coming
bright,
just
yeah.
with that intensity there, and even just getting a finger to it, pushing it back out, maybe even having to redo it because of the wipe on the floor. That's making you second guess yourself when you're.
3 attempts to get the ball in play there for the Wolves, ends up with a turnover. The Gladiators have extended the lead to 7 points. Backdoor cut by Erin McCarrican. Foul called, shooting 2. And a good wee sequence here for the Gladiators.
It was, and that was a really nice find over the back. I guess that's just where they've got the athleticism moves. They can jump, but actually just standing and being able to put their arms there to stop that pass. But again, McGarrigan just doing really smart moves. She doesn't do the spectacular, behind the back, through the leg, over the head dunks, but she gets into the right place. She gets herself open. She creates for her teammates.
Shoots 60% from the line. Makes the first. Under 2 minutes to go in this game. Or sorry, for this half. Misses the second, does she? Bouncing around. Gets her own rebound. No box out there from the Wolves. McCarrican goes round them all.
You can see her just waiting there.
The easiest to put back.
Yeah, I was like, I hope it does drop, because that's pretty funny. But again, that's what I'm just talking about. She just puts herself in the right place. Like, she doesn't give up. Day the same. Really nice work.
Quick 2 there for the Wolves. 8-point lead for the Gladiators. Robin Lewis just checked back in with the ball. Lakin James, Sam Roscoe, great play by the Caledonia Gladiators, and another timeout called by the Oakland Wolves. And it's since that last timeout, the Gladiators have stepped up intensity in both ends of the floor.
They have, and they've got to. They want to go out. They want to be challenging for first place. They want to be getting silverware. They've not got the trophy. They've played in Europe. They've got high expectations. Coach Miguel, Chantel, Donnie, they've all got big expectations and high standards for this team. They've got to go out and they've got to be at that. After 3 pre-seasons, you'd expect them to be as cohesive, and I think the play we're seeing now is nice team basketball. They're finding their way through the zone. It's going to take a while to feel it out. 10 points. Wolves, they're still creating down their end, but they're getting maybe a little bit more stuck. But I have to say, Alison Day's really come out and shown this quarter why she's our captain. She's getting herself into some really nice spots. She's scoring well, she's rebounding. You see she's at the top if they're pushing up on the floor. So yeah, she's had herself her quarter, and she's now someone else that they're going to have to look at half-time.
Gladiators scored 26 points in the quarter. It's 45 to 35 here. We are just a minute and 20 seconds to go in the half. Both teams coming back onto the floor. From a Wolves point of view, there'll be a lot of things they can definitely be happy with. But this wee run that we're seeing from the Gladiators will be something that you saw the frustration there, 3 inbound plays that Wolves weren't able to get the ball in, they turned it over. We've now got the tech warning on the coach from the bench. And it's amazing how in a 2-minute spell, the game's kind of turned on its head again.
Yep, and that's the thing. We talk about wanting the momentum. We spoke about it earlier. You want the momentum going in at half-time. It's currently the Gladiators, but a minute 20 is a long time in basketball.
Wolves get it in this time. Copel and Smith working that game. Great hustle played by the Gladiators to take time off the clock. Day, top of the arc. Drives against Bintu. We've seen a lot of success at that. She's double teamed. Into Thompson. She's up against Roscoe. Late in the shot clock. Doesn't go, but the rebound by Wade ends up in Thompson's hands. An impressive sequence there from the Wolves. Smith for three, long way out. Doesn't go, gets her own rebound, throws it up. Doesn't go. 2 shots at the line for Smith, and a great bit of intensity there from the Wolves.
It was, and that's what I'm talking about. They do such a good job of crashing their own boards there. On the reverse, Gladiators, why aren't they securing that defensive rebound? You've literally got a player, you know, she does such good work with her body, you know, to get the shot away, and then she's on the floor. How on earth is she then coming back up the rebound? Great hustle by her, but Gladiators need to do better.
Smith makes the first. She's a 56% shooter from the line. Makes them both. Could be a very pivotal free throw visit for the Wolves. Gladiators moving the ball about. Bintu feeds in Sammy Roscoe, doesn't go. Brilliant defensive play again by Wade. And we're into the final 30 seconds of the half. She keeps the ball. Day was open under the basket there. Thompson going, driving against this much smaller Lewis, and a foul's called in both teams. And the penalty.
Yeah, you can see Thompson was going to try and get maybe a position to post Robin Lewis up, but she was having none of it. You could see she was using her body.
Fouled by Roscoe though, on the help.
Fouled by Roscoe on the help. Good spot.
Less than 20 to go. Feels like a big last minute to this game, and since the timeout, Wolves have come out. Intensity's up on both ends. They got the stop, they got the 3-point rebound. Smith got her own 3-point rebound. Made both free throws, and we're out. Gladiators with the ball.
Last shot again.
7-point lead for the Gladiators. Looking for a good shot to end this quarter. Pull up 2, doesn't go. And that's that. Clock expires. We end the quarter. We're at the half. Gladiators 45, the Oaklands Wolves 38, and a really back and forth half of basketball there, Rona.
Yeah, I think if you're a betting man who, you know, you don't know who you'd go with at the moment. I feel like momentum's kind of going with both teams going in. Wolves scored the last sort of 2 baskets there, but also Gladiators were scoring more openly and are playing some really nice team basketball there just towards the end. So I think, you know, both teams are going to have plenty to talk about. Third quarter is going to be absolutely crucial. We always talk about the third quarter being pivotal anyway, but I think whoever goes out and takes the game by the scruff of the neck in the third quarter is probably who's going to go out and see who wins the game. I think something else that's interesting today is, at the moment, Gladiators are sitting on 3 steals. They currently lead the league with 16 per game. So are we going to see more from that? That's what generates your defense to then give you your offense.
Yeah, heading into the half, Helen McCarrican leads all scoring on 12, or joint lead scoring with Hannah Robb. 2 big impacts from those girls.
No, it has been, and it's nice to see, you know, Scottish girls getting it done on home court. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Donnie McDonald has to say for Annie down courtside, and I think we're going to be able to catch up with him and hand over to them down courtside. Annie.
Hi, Donnie. Before the game, we spoke about really focusing on your defensive principles. How well do you think we executed that?
Nowhere near where we needed to be, basically. 38 points at the half for them is not what we want from our defense. We're putting pressure on at times, but what we need to be careful with is then not giving them lanes to the basket. They've had far too many open layups for our liking.
And if the Wolves continue with their zone, how do we plan on punishing them for that on offense?
I think actually when they have gone to zone, our offense against it looks pretty good. As I say, they've got 38, but 45 points for us in the half is pretty good going. So if we continue to play to our principles, find the open player, take good shots, we'll be fine.
Perfect. Thank you for your time. I'll let you get back. Thanks, Donnie. And that wraps up the first half of play here at Play Sport Arena. I'll hand it back to Grant and Rona.
We are back. The Caledonia Gladiators lead 45-38. We are moments away from the start of the second half. But Rona, let's throw it back to last weekend. We had the Women's British Basketball League Betty Cardona final where the London Lions came out victorious over the Essex Rebels. What did you enjoy about that game?
I just enjoyed, the spectacle of it, seeing how busy Birmingham was. London came to play, Essex took a while, to get into it. Big event for them, but they had a good showing for themselves. Really liked how Rogan played. Didn't look like she was worried or at all in the slightest.
She really stood out at that moment. Like maybe not one of the recognisable stars.
Yeah, and a bit like
really
again, I said about you don't have to be tall to play ball. Probably one of the shortest players on court.
Yeah.
But she got it done. She was getting to the hoop. She was getting rebounds. She was hustling. And London are a really nice team to watch. They're littered with stars. We've now seen that 2 of them have signed full contracts in the WNBA. One's on a training contract. And Temi, who'll probably make a full contract. So, you're watching bona fide stars. If you'd told, teenage me, you could watch, 3 WNBA players playing down in London or in Birmingham or up here when they'll come up to play us, I'd been like, wow, really? As opposed to staying up having to watch the NBA on Channel 5 at 2 in the morning or whatever it was, And I think that's a big thing because for so long, when you did player interviews and things, with a lot of Scottish girls, you would say, who's your role model? And everyone was a bit like, we didn't have role models as such because watching the WNBA on TV wasn't easily accessible, European basketball wasn't easily accessible, and there wasn't that high league, so you would maybe the girls a year or 2 above you, your role models, whereas now, you'll have people going, oh, I love how Georgia Smith plays, I love how Temi plays, I love how Hannah Robb plays, Erin McGarrigan, homegrown players, from down south, you actually know who they are. These people are becoming names, and that's amazing that young girls coming through the sport are going to have those role models to look up to. I mean, I'm inspired every time I come, and I'm definitely at the opposite end of my career, but there's still things I come and I learn and I want to do different. I watched Holly, the way she gets open, she has loads of different really cutesy ways of getting herself open to get the ball in different positions on the court. So yeah, I think it was a great spectacle. Also really enjoyed the guys game. They call them the underdogs, Cheshire Phoenix, but they're a legit team. I saw Aaron Rye play beginning of the season. I was like, that boy can ball, And he did. He came out and he did it as well. And it just shows what momentum does, what having belief in your team does. So yeah, overall, really enjoyed it. Gutted neither Gladiators teams made it through to the final, but I think it was a great event and I look to see more of them as the season progresses.
Yes, we're building towards the All-Star game on the 17th of March. We're back to tonight's game is this afternoon.
I know.
This afternoon, I know.
Please don't. I'll miss 2 meals if it's tonight.
That's very true. This afternoon's game, the Gladiators lead by 7 points. From a home team's perspective, what would you like to see from Miguel's side? We obviously heard Donny at the half.
I'd like to see them come out and raise the defensive intensity again. That 3 steals as opposed to their normal 16. That just shows that they're maybe not playing the same sort of level of team defense. It looks like the intensity's there sometimes, but I do think they've got far more that they can bring. I know
it's almost that initial intensity's there, but the help or the second person's just not there.
And then they're just switching off on that rebound. And a bit like he said, 45 for them is decent, allowing them 38. And he's also highlighted how easily Oaklands are getting there. Now they've got great players. They're able to ball handle really nice. They're able to find the lane, but someone should be coming over and putting a body on that person. And they are kind of coming across, but they're sticking their hands in or they're putting the body on too late. And then that's what's generating the fouls. I think both teams will maybe look to try and keep their fouls down a little bit. We've got 2 players, 1 player on each team on 3, a couple on 2. But it feels like there's been more fouls than the board, I say, would suggest. It's been quite stop-start. I'd like to see a nice good run of play, get a nice few minutes for both teams under their belt, getting up and down the floor, shake anything off. Both teams should be away from any sort of first game back nerves, so to speak.
Both teams are coming back out on the floor. Gladiators led scoring-wise by Erin McCarrigan and Hannah Robb, both from 12. The Wolves are led by 11 points from Wade and 10 from Day. So both fives coming back out on the floor. Looks to almost be identical starting fives to the game. And hopefully we're in for an exciting second half.
I think we will be. If the first half's to go by, I was out in the fan zone there, people who have never been before, and they were like, I'm really enjoying it. They couldn't get tickets to the guys' game. It's a sellout, so that's great to see more people putting eyes on the women's game. So it definitely is good. Some might even say the main showcase of the day. The women's.
Absolutely. The one change. Did Bintu start the game? Or
She
was it
did
Kirsty
not.
Brown? So that's the one
Kirsty
change
Brown.
to the lineup for the Gladiators. Sideline ball for the Wolves, and it is a Gladiators ball. Close call. I think it came off Hannah Robb last.
He's going to say, look, leave it alone. It's my call. That's what I said.
The Wolves have been kind of continuing talking to the referees. You saw Coach Ryan talking to the refs at the end of the half and before this half started. So it's obviously something they're not happy with as Puyol has the ball in her hands. We're interested to see what offensive sets we see from the Gladiators. They're still in this zone. Puyol quick drive in, passes out. Hannah Robb drives in. Oh, nice extra pass to Bintu and nice easy too.
And that's that team basketball we know they can play. And if you're going to do that and pick teams apart, you know, that's perfect, that's textbook.
Bintu averages 8 points a game. Ball's in Day's hand there for a long time and gets into Smith. Crosses over Puyol, drives to the basket. Hit in the head. Foul.
Yeah, Bintu sort of just bailed her out of that really because she was going away from the hoop. She was going to have to hook shot it. Bintu's got the height, so she'd have to push it up higher. But you know, she's just checks a bit of a rubbish word, isn't it? But
kind of chased her, didn't she?
Yeah,
she kind of chased into
her hip, and that's what she's hit her with.
.4 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists so far for Smith.
She just gets it done, doesn't she? Really solid, safe pair of hands, and you know she's always looking for the pass as well. Knocks down the second. Sort of pushing up again the top two, that zone.
Ariadne Puyol allowed to go full court, has to play out to Hannah Robb. Seen some dribblings from Bintu. Puyol drives inside, gets the space.
Yeah, really nice step through there by her.
And another 2 for Puyol.
But then straight
length
back
pass
down.
to Thompson. Misses it, maybe looking for the contact. Sammy Roscoe with the rebound. Ball's into Puyol's hand and the Gladiators are out and going again. Hannah Robb step backs. Doesn't take the shot. Looks for the extra pass again to Lakin James. Keeps the ball. Somehow gets it back to Hannah Robb.
Bit frantic here.
Puyol again, lefty finish. Ball goes all the way around the hoop but drops. Quick start to this half for Ariadne Puyol.
Yeah, I feel like this is the Ariadne when I came and watched some pre-season. This is more what we were seeing from her, getting at the hoop, scoring her baskets. Yeah, nice. Some tough screens out there today as well. I mean, I watched the Six Nations yesterday and...
Turnover there by the Wolves, forced by some brilliant defence. This time we're getting the right hand of Puyol, but doesn't go. Bintu the rebound. Sammy Roscoe misses the lefty layup. And an offence goes begging for the Gladiators. Smith out and running again. Spent last summer playing in Australia for the Norwood Flame in the NBL. Copel finds Smith for the 3. High arcing throw shot. The bank is open and the 3 drops.
Just showing she is that threat and you cannot switch off on her. And after a sort of frantic period of play as well, to just knock down that 3 for them and settle play.
Offense stop, no rotation from the Wolves on defense there, but the shot doesn't go. Maybe too much space.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you turn around and you see that, you're like, oh, and you're not in your mind, you weren't going to shoot. So then when you do shoot, you're out of rhythm.
Open look
Lovely
for Day
find.
underneath the basket. Again, another layup, overcooked.
She sort of blows hot and cold with them, doesn't she? We saw her have an awesome second quarter after sort of...
Cross-court pass. Lakin James for 3 in the corner. Brilliant start to this quarter for Ariadne Puyol. Great assist there, cross-court. She's up to 10 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists.
And this is what you want to see. You want to see good team basketball. You want to see the slow spread.
Another turnover forced by the Gladiators. Bintu, but takes about 4, maybe 5 steps to the basket. Turns it over on the travel. A great steal by the Gladiators, forcing the Wolves into that turnover.
You find though this is maybe just sometimes the problem with the Gladiators, that they're doing great work and it's like 2/3 great work and then the last third is where the problems come, or the last little piece. But you know, if you're still managing to create the steals, you're still causing the turnovers, it's less chance for them to score. It is positive, it's just deflating.
She did all the hard work gaining possession and definitely picked up the ball very early.
Yeah.
But it's back in Wolves' offense. Copel drives, forces a foul. on the floor.
Is that Ariadna just joining their team chat?
I always wonder when players do that, do you actually hear anything?
Yeah. I'm always.
Does it
I like
equal
a wee
anything
huddle.
though if they're saying like a set's name?
Yeah, 100%. Or it's usually someone being like, you need to sort this out or that out. It
Bev
does.
Sarson drives in. Blocking foul called on Ariadna Puyol. 2 quick fouls on the Gladiators guard. Didn't look like she was there early enough and possibly in the restricted space.
Yeah, and you can see her but having a complaint about that, but that was something she was maybe guilty of in that sort of first part of the season. I don't even want to say half, but first part of the season was maybe giving away, you know, too many fouls and picking them up quite quickly. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Miguel leaves her in.
No activity in the bench so far. Misses the first for Sarson. She goes 1 from 2. And is back to a 10-point game, 54-44. Apologies, 54-43, 11-point game. Cross-court pass again into the corner for 3 for Hannah Robb. Doesn't go. The Gladiators are finding that space on the cross-court pass. Wade with the ball.
Wade's got hops, like she totally just out-jumped Sammy Roscoe there and got that rebound.
Smith step back for 3, high arcing shot, doesn't go. Roscoe gathers a rebound. The Gladiators looking full court pass. Doesn't gather it, ball's in Sarson's hand.
So close to that baseline, did well keeping it in.
Kopel drives inside again, Bintu. Foul call, great drive there by the Austrian.
You find this is where, you know, Gladiators do some really great work and then they just give away like a few cheap quick fouls. You know, where their defense has been working well, maybe just need to trust it a little bit more, but well done to Oaklands, you know. Caledonia have come out, had some really nice scores, but then they've managed to bring themselves back into the game, secure a few rebounds, pick up some fouls. With Lewis and McGarrican checking back in, that's probably like a stability thing, isn't it? That's the sort of experience thing checking in.
Kopel misses the first. "20 minutes of action so far." Misses them both. Rebound by Bintu. Robin Lewis off and running. It's always interesting to see how the offense changes when Lewis is on the floor.
Yeah, again, very smart player, finds the
Kicks
options.
out James for the 3. Doesn't go. Ahead of McCarry, gathers the rebound. Lefty, nice layup.
Right
Oh,
place.
steal by Lakin James. Dishes off to Bintu, but we've got foul called.
That was tough, you know, she was just coming round the side of her there, Mendez. Smaller player taking the ball off the taller player.
Garza Brown checks in and she's about to turn around and go back to the bench as we have a timeout. The Gladiators lead 56-43. We've just got over 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Quite a quick and frantic start. The Gladiators pushing ahead. How will both teams feeling coming into this kind of portion of the game?
I feel like it's mirroring slightly the first quarter, except it's this time it's Gladiators that come out with a bit more intensity. They're the ones looking to push the tempo. Oakland's maybe looking to bring the tempo down a little bit. When they get out and when they run is when they look at their best. I think that's something they've got to get back to, but maybe Gladiators are doing a better job of pushing up on the guards to make sure that they can't do that. We've seen Georgia Smith maybe put up a few extra shots. One's gone in, nice, but I'd say they've been forced. They're maybe not the perfect option they would normally be looking for. But then, when is sport ever perfect?
Yeah, been really impressed by what Georgia Smith's able to do. She's able to get a very well-rounded game.
No, she does indeed.
Lights come back on in the arena. We have got 5 minutes, 11 to go. Referees trying to get the players back on court.
Last time we had a double header, the men's game previous went into overtime, didn't it? So
That is correct.
to be looking to not have a repeat of that today.
Yeah, that was the first home game of the season
Is that
for the women. Yeah, it
wow.
was.
Feels like 17 years ago.
Definitely was a long, long time ago. It's a Gladiators ball on the baseline. Three big players in for the Gladiators, McCarrick, Bintu and Kirsty Brown. Bit of a forced pass there. That's something that sometimes I feel the Gladiators, they really close the space down.
Yeah, it was a nice option, but it wasn't the right option. Easy for me to say because I'm sitting here.
Bintu under the basket, great find. Easy 2 for Bintu.
You find that back line of the Oaklands defence still doesn't move very well and adapt.
Thompson quickly pushes it out, passes it back. Thompson, 3-point shot, goes. Brilliant shooting from Ree Thompson.
Showing that she does not need to get to the hoop, she can score from anywhere on the floor.
Scored two baskets really early on for 4 points. She's just opened her account for the second half. Kirsty Brown finds the ball at the free throw line. Drive by Lakin James. Hangs in the air. Beautiful finish by Lakin James.
Like a second jump there, she almost like a wee power up. So Super
Things
Mario
I wish I had. Sarson with the ball. Crosses over McCarrick and drives. We've got a foul on the floor.
Yeah, too much arm by McGarrick in there. And I think, judging by Coach Miguel, not enough for something else.
And again, that's another quarter. We touched on it early on about foul trouble for the Gladiators. That's team fouls for the hometown team. Miguel Ortega calls timeout. And we head into this timeout. The game's kind of at that moment. Will Gladiators continue to push ahead? It seems Miguel Ortega's expecting another fight back from the Wolves.
Of course, and I think they're showing that. I mean, they've just come out, nailed a 3 down in the bottom corner. They can score it well. We have no issues with their score. And like we said, it's going to come down to defence today. Gladiators, you would argue they're on track for their 80-ish points a game. Wolves maybe going to struggle to get up to 79, but you never know. I think, like I said, whoever takes command of the third quarter should be the ones who come out with the win. And with Gladiators being on the top at the moment, that's what you'd expect to happen. But like I always say, you can never second guess sport.
As we wait, the team is returning to the floor. And what will be a busy day of basketball here at Play Sport. As we touched on already, we've got the men's Caledonia Gladiators taking on the Bristol Flyers, tipping off around 3 o'clock, and which is apparently a sellout. So it's always good to see a full house here at.
You must have heard that potato wedges are back in the menu, which smell amazing, may I point out.
And I'm very curious to see what Gladiators come out here and do against what looks like a mixed unit for the Oakland Wolves with Sarson, Thompson and Wade still on.
Yeah, small and mobile is how Oakland's, I mean they're all mobile, but I think that's more how it's going to be.
Sarson misses the first.
Good crowd in here as well, though it's not a sellout, you know, they're making it known as if they are.
One to come for Sarson. Making a brilliant impact off the bench for Oakland. Misses them both, but rebound by Zia. And Oaklands are into their offensive flow again. Thompson, quick release 3, doesn't go.
Another.
Chase down jump ball, and it belongs to the Gladiators, that extra bit of pace that Lakin James has.
Correct, but still, should they have got that rebound, should they even have been able to get their hands to it? I feel like they just scramble a lot on rebounds. They're not actually putting a body on a body, sorry about that, to actually secure the rebound.
4 minutes to go in the third quarter here at the amphitheatre of Play Sport. Brilliant impact off the bench from McCarrick. Kirsty Brown looking to establish herself. She's got 3 Oaklands players on it. It'll be an open shooter somewhere. Hannah Robb drives. Steps on the baseline and it's a turnover.
Yeah, and that's with Oakland, you know, switching back into that man-to-man defence when they've sat in a zone the whole game and they've forced, you know, turnover.
Almost again. Hannah Robb gets the ball. The Gladiators' intensity on the inbound play too much for the Wolves as they look to establish Bintu. 3 players round her, throws it. McCarrigan keeps it in. Drives in. Another lefty layup from McCarrigan. She is making an impressive afternoon for herself.
Yeah, Wolves just sort of left her there. She kind of was driving into two players and then both just stepped off, and she identified
Wade
that.
drives by Kirsty Brown. Sarson does it as well. The three from Thompson at the top doesn't go. They'll be wanting some of them to drop to stay in this game.
That was a real nice hold off there by Robin. That was just an experience there, I'd say, from Bintu. You know, she was going up against it. She had the height advantage. She didn't need to go forward into the player as well. But really nice hustle play there by Thompson. But now you're putting her on the line. You know, from what's gone from a hustle defensive play, they're getting 2 free shots out of it.
The Gladiators have kept maybe Thompson quiet from a scoring point of view, and she'll be looking to get herself going from the line.
She will, and although she has been quieter from scoring, you know, sitting on 7 points at the moment, she's been a big impact. And they're having to cover, they're having to get out on her, and she's finding the shots they'll drop.
Definitely a menace there. She caused that foul on Bintu with just putting her body in the way, and they're just staying in this, Wolves. Definitely got another big run in them. Thompson checks out, Day checks back in.
Looks like they've gone back to that zone, playing with the too high. No, maybe not. They're just picking up Bintu and Robin.
Showed the full court, but eventually retreated back into their man-to-man defence. Bintu has the ball in her hands. Unfamiliar place for her out there. Hannah Robb given the space to shoot the three. Looked to create the contact, but the ball's gone out for an inline ball. I think she knew that shot wasn't going in and looked to try and fake some contact there.
Yep. She got one earlier in the game when it was, but not that one.
Again, lots of pressure from the Gladiators in the inbound. The ball eventually finds its way in. Claire Abbott to Wade. Wade to Alison Day. She pulls up. 2-point shot. Rattles out. Hannah Robb fighting for the rebound with Bintu. And we've got another jump ball here. Brilliant intensity and defence for both teams.
I feel like both are starting to raise their game. You know, they're diving on things, they're getting down on the ball, they're making sure, you know, they're wanting to secure it. And that's what you want from your players, 1 through 12.
Just under 2.5 remaining of the third quarter. 62 points to 47. Oaklands get the ball in this time. They've struggled a wee bit with the inbound plays in this quarter. Wade, scoring threat. She's got 3 Gladiators on her. Looked like good defence. A late whistle from the referee there. But she stayed down on the floor. That might be a follow-up from her holding her back in the first half.
Yeah, it looked more like she was holding her face, but sometimes you hold your face, don't you, if something else is sore, so you can never quite second guess where someone's hurt.
I mean, her teammates are patting her on her back, so maybe she's
You'd be like, that's the worst thing you could do right now. She's just taking herself a moment. But again, bailing them out. Tough shot, 3 of them round her. She looked like she was almost behind the backboard going up with it.
Shakira Wade played last season in Switzerland, played Division 1 basketball at Alabama. Really impressive seeing her this season here in the WBBL. Makes the first free throw. She looks rather uncomfortable with her back.
Yeah, I would say she doesn't look like she's living her best life, to be honest, at that free throw line. No, Coach Lee Ryan isn't looking to put in a sub either, so she's going to have to ride it out.
Second one bounces in. 62-49 here as subs are called. Putra checks back in, Bintu checks out.
Yeah, sitting on 3 fouls. She's the third now. Going to want to make sure you work with them better.
Carrasco Menendez picks up in the full court on Robin Lewis. Screen set, Kirsty Brown. Cross court past Erin McCarrican. Oakland's chasing and hustling really nicely. Oh, turnover there, wrong pass for Hannah Robb.
You feel like there was a couple open shots there that nobody took and you're like, fine, but then what you came
Wade
with.
going on her own full court. Lovely bank layup there. This is maybe the Oakland run we were looking at.
Yep,
11 point the margin, 1.5 minutes to go here.
Back into that zone. You can see how they're trying to block them out, the sort of bigs in the middle, and get a position on them. And that's obviously where Bintu's maybe getting
They're looking to establish Putra here. Kirsty Brown goes on her own. Putra with the rebound. Gladiator ball. Foul on Alison Day.
Too much body, not enough ball.
Subs back in for both teams. Smith and Thompson return for the travelling Wolves, and Lake and James in for Robin Lewis. Wade checks out for the Oaklands Wolves. She looks to be limping and holding her back a little bit there. Hannah Robb top for a three. Lake and James, smallest player on the court, going up there and collecting that rebound.
She's got ops.
Hannah Robb cuts inside. She's been really successful driving to the basket. Late in the shot clock. Really late shot, and it goes. Putra with the baseline jump shot.
Is that the perfectly worked play, or was that
That's
just
just her 4th point of the night. She's 4 points, 4 rebounds. Oh, hard collision there. Lake and James down. Rebound by Day, and a foul called.
And again, you know, back to the line there for the Wolves.
They'll be going for their 27th and 28th visit to the free throw line. They're 61% on the night. 16 currently made 16 from 26 currently.
And that's, you know, that's put Putra onto 4. So coach and staff don't look to be putting anyone else on, so they're going to leave her maybe to ride out the end of the quarter.
Yeah, Putra has only played 8 minutes 47 seconds roughly of the game so far.
And you know, we'd sort of spoken about playing domestically and in Europe, you know, the difference in the refereeing and maybe what things get called, but that's not an excuse anymore, because, you know, we're solidly back in domestic.
And it's back to a 12-point game. The Gladiators 64, Wolves 52. We're well into the final minute here. Kirsty Brown at the free throw line, trying to break down the zone. Lake and James open 3. Gladiators really need that to drop, and it's an Oaklands ball. 27 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Still a 2-possession game though, you know, and it was a good look. You'd want someone like that shooting a 3, so you're fine with that. Just unfortunate it didn't drop.
11 points for Lake and James so far. Tough again for Oaklands to get the ball inbound. That full court pressure from the Gladiators proving difficult for them.
Yeah, and you can see Oakland's just not maybe very sure if one person can't get open what to do.
Thompson guarded by Hannah Robb. The help comes high for the Wolves. Open shot, mid-range jump shot, too much. Into the final 10 seconds. Lake and James with the ball in hand. Up against Georgia Smith, the switch happens. Last play, hook shot play, doesn't go. And that does it for 3 quarters. It remains a 12-point game. Caledonia Gladiators lead 64-52 against the away travelling Oakland Wolves. Rona, the Gladiators had a chance there to really build a big lead. They win the quarter by 5, but it still feels like the Wolves have an opportunity to get a fight back.
It definitely feels like a game that's still seesawing, although the lead isn't seesawing. I think, you know, we expect maybe more from the Gladiators, but again, I think people underestimate the Wolves. You know, they are a high-scoring team, they're a high-energy team, and they're showing that today. They're making the Gladiators foul, putting them in foul trouble. You've now put Putra onto 4 fouls. That's not really somewhere you want to have a player. Yes, they've got the bench, but when she's coming in, she's doing a good job. At the moment, you know, Bintu on the inside as well, they're making her foul, and you wonder why, because they've got the height advantage, so they're obviously doing something. I think it's the way they're using their body, it's the way they're attacking the hoop. They're maybe coming across too late in the defence, which is then causing them to foul late. I feel like on that last play, Wolves, as they were coming down attacking, it was really nice, and we jumped out and hedged, but we hedged so high outside the 3-point line. Is that going to be where you're going to win and lose the game? No, ball was dumped inside, much easier look for them at the hoop.
Leading the scoring for the Gladiators is Erin McCarrican on 16. Shakira Wade leads the scoring for the Wolves with 15. Wade continues to impress. It'll be interesting to see how much she features in this final quarter.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. You've got yourself to the 4th quarter. Bench maybe isn't as deep. but you've only got 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes to go out, 10 minutes to win. We've seen them knock down threes, we've seen them get ones. You know, so to cut that gap, to cut that deficit, that's not going to be overly challenging if they come out with the right game plan.
Both teams shooting 25% from 3. Wolves are 3 from 12, the Gladiators 5 from 20. Both teams look like to be about to be coming out for the final quarter. Wade is stepping onto the court. I think it's a Gladiators ball.
That's where the arrow's pointed. Interestingly, all 3 quarters have ended up with Gladiators with the last shot and possession of the game yet to score from one.
Ten minutes of action here at Play Sport remaining, and a really compelling Women's British Basketball League fixture. A 12-point lead for the Gladiators.
Yep, after London, Essex and Nottingham taking home the wins yesterday, so lots going on in the WBL this weekend.
The zone still in place for the Oakland. Puyol drives inside, drives into trouble. Travel. Good defense there by the Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, she's had some really nice looks there. That wasn't the right option though in that situation. The zone was set, nobody had moved, they were spaced, really easy for them to come in and just stop her
Trapped
in her
her,
tracks.
didn't they? Yeah. Glad to still in this full court press off the inbound. Ball's in Wade's hand. Interested to see what she does up against the height of Ariana Puyol, but it's in Smith's hand. The Gladiators bench looking for a travel there. Crossover, Smith drives, kicks it out. Zero for 2, misses, but Wade, apologies, gathers the ball and ends up in Putra's hand. Long court, cross-court pass. The cut by Putra. Foul, lovely extra pass there by Kirsty Brown.
It was, because you could see she'd done a really nice job getting herself into that low box. I could hear Putra from up here calling on that trail, so nice work getting in, tacking hard. Wolves just having a quick powwow down there. You were asking earlier, like they can actually make such a difference if you feel like someone's not quite switched on and they've not quite grasped what it is you're doing. Really good way without a coach having to use a timeout.
Putra at the line for 2. Misses the first. 69% scorer at the free throw line for the Ukrainian international. Makes the second. I know it's interesting when you're just sitting here watching this game, the ebbs and flows. It very much feels like this quarter has yet to kind of find its kind of course.
Yeah, a minute in, so you know.
Great defense, unfortunate Hannah just kind of fell into number 23 there, Shakira Wade.
It very much then comes down to indiscipline, doesn't it? And not just on that play, but overall, because they know they're going to get called for it. So you need to be smarter with how you move. You need to be smarter with what you do with your hands, how you move your body, keeping your hips square on.
It feels like a little bit different for Miguel tonight. There's less. We've only really got 9 players into the rotation. No Omar Jones yet. Obviously Chantel Handy's just in a coaching role. We've talked before maybe about sometimes too much rotation for the Gladiators. Obviously Ndai's not here either anymore. So it seems like maybe Miguel's going to go with that kind of concise lineup.
Yeah, I think this is, you're starting to get into the business end of the season, so you're going to want to sort of start to solidify where your rotation is going to be, who you're going to go to, and we don't see practice, so I guess it's hard for us to second guess why people get what.
Kirsty Brown got trapped there in the baseline, but smart play, playing it off Kopel's leg.
I actually played against Kopel in Austria with the team Scotland, which feels like many moons ago.
Kirsty Brown gathers it from the inbound. Lovely 2-point shot there. Screen set by Putra to allow Kirsty Brown the space.
Both teams as well, when they score easy, they make it look easy. And then other times it's like they're getting through treacle to get the basket. forcing it inside, aren't they? They maybe know they've got the height advantage, they've maybe scouted it, but it's not the right look and it's not the right time to do it.
Wade pull up. It doesn't. Hits net, but no rim, and she's very much the frustrated soul at herself there.
I don't think she expected to be so open when she got through, so she was pulling up to do something different.
Travel on Puyol. I almost looked like she was going to force herself up for the shot there, and then either didn't have her feet set, stumbled, and then all of a sudden she was at the basket.
And it's not something we tend to see Pujol do, is pull up jump shots. So, but maybe was then close enough, thought she might.
An index of 16 for Puyol tonight. She's made a massive impact. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists for the former Spanish age group international. We've got a timeout on the floor. It's 67 points to the Gladiators, 53 points to the Oakland Wolves. And I feel like this quarter's still not really hit its boil yet.
It's still there for the taking. Absolutely still there for the taking. Literally almost just 8 minutes still left to go within the game. 14-point differential. It's going to be, can Wade, Thompson, Smith, can they come out and sort of assert themselves even more so? We've seen some great stuff today from Wade. But, do they want to be going back down the M6 with the win, or, do they want to be going home without?
I'll be interested to see for the Gladiators to win this 14-point lead. What represents, if we continue to see this kind of margin, what represents a good night for the Gladiators? Is it just the win, or what else could Coach Miguel be looking for?
If I'd had a chance to ask Coach Miguel before the game, I'd have been like, what are you looking for tonight? What is the one thing he's going to be working on? I think there'll be plenty he'll take from this, but you're still building again, aren't you? You're building back into this part of the season. You just don't have time to do it. You've got to do it quickly. You've got to turn around. They've got a double header against Manchester next weekend. So, back on the floor, different scout report, get going.
Interesting enough, Thompson takes the ball handling duties. Smith's on the floor as well. The hedge from Kirsty Brown. Smith for the pull-up 3, doesn't go. Rebound in the hands of Lakin James.
Really like the way Lakin goes in and attacks and gets those rebounds down.
She's up to 6 rebounds.
Very much like Wade and Thompson, the way they go in and they crash the boards. She's sort of gone out and then done the same herself.
Quietly going about her night, Lakin James. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists.
Stop cutting out my meals.
Did I say night again? We normally start about 5 o'clock, that's why I'm not used to these 12 o'clock tips. Puyol, Hannah Robb, corner 3 again. This time she gets one to go. Big shot for Hannah Robb. 15 points for her now.
Yeah, and I think she's someone who's come out and impressed today. She's maybe been a little bit quieter in other games, and we know she can do more than that, so pleased to see how she's
Great
performing.
drive by Thompson, doesn't go. Rebound.
Lakin
Fight
James.
between Lakin James and Popo, and it's a jump ball, and the ball will go with the Wolves.
But like I say at every broadcast, rebounding comes down to hustle. We saw the one where McGarrigan came all the way around after her own free throw and got the really easy bucket. That's what it comes down to. Oh, unfortunate there, just to go out of court. That's one of those ones you're like, oh, if there was just like an extra 3 centimetres at the side. But in other times, it works to your advantage.
17-point games, just under 7 minutes to go. The ball doesn't end up in a Wolves' hand.
Coach Lee Ryan, a bit of head and hands situation there. That's an experienced player to an experienced player. I think it's just also the curl on it as well.
It's also they've struggled with that inbound today.
They have
struggled to get the ball in against the kind of, whether in the full of the half court against the Gladiators, and that probably plays in your mind when you take that riskier option.
And you know that they're there, they're waiting to eat it up.
Kirsty Brown, quick pass to Samantha Roscoe. Fakes the shot. Another nice pass in over the top. Samantha Roscoe. Not really seen her as an outside shooter today, but she's got a few nice looks under the basket.
Yeah, really nice interplay between the posts there. It's not something you always see, but just really nice. That's high-lows being a bit generous, mid-range to low.
Thompson Has to pass the ball out from underneath the hook. Rebound gathered in. Samantha Ross was on 4 points, but 8 rebounds for the GB Australian International. Nice play there by the Gladiators, unlucky to go. They're keeping the energy high, but so are the Wolves coming back in here in transition. Nice find inside to Sarsens, out to Abbott. Thompson checks the clock. Oh, offensive foul there. Day was late with the screen.
Yeah.
And we've seen that called all season across both the women's and the men's British Basketball League this season.
And it's such an easy call for us, especially when it's out there at the top of the three, especially when it's for your guard and it's like an isolation play when the clock's winding down. You know, it's just really obvious when you step out and you hit somebody late on it. You can get away with it a little bit more, not that I ever would, but I get away with it a little bit more when you're sort of in the key. It's a little bit more busy in there. But out there, you know, easy call for the refs.
Gladiators lead the quarter 8 points to 1. Oakland not really got their into any kind of flowing offense.
They haven't, and you can see though they're getting the looks, but it's the back of the ring, it's the bit of the net, it's the side of the backboard, you know. It's getting there, they're getting the looks, but that's how you're going to weather the storm, you know. They're going to have to look at other ways that they can get there.
The lead's out to 19 points. Is this moments where you think, well, Miguel Ortega bring in some of the younger players, the Kerry McGee's, Alex McIntosh, even Keanu Omer-Jones hasn't seen the court yet?
I don't know. Although it's a 19-point lead, I don't know if it feels like a 19-point lead. I don't know if they'll be going, all right, we'll take our foot off the gas. Team Scotland yesterday at the Welsh rugby. You know, you want to push ahead, you want to extend it out. So I think they'll be looking to consolidate the win as opposed to bleeding in the players.
After that timeout, will Coach Ryan's Oakland Wolves come out with a greater intensity, look to upset the Gladiators and cause a fight back. Quick foul called against the Wolves. And it's Wolves who find themselves in 4 fouls with over 5 minutes to go.
Yep, and I guess that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to play intense, you're going to have to play in their face, and that's going to mean picking up fouls.
Someone will be open for the Gladiators as the double team comes in.
Day's got the wingspan there, she'll to get it all the way around James and not actually make any contact.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever quite seen that, like a pincer movement.
I mean, last time I saw that call called.
5 seconds,
Yeah.
Dribble, pick it up.
Hannah Robb trying to create the steal, but it's well controlled by Sarson. Wade cross-court pass, open Thompson for 3. She makes the shot. It's a lovely shooting form.
Yeah. As chill as you like. You know, they were so busy with Day and watching down in the post. Rob looked to respond. Bintu with the rebound. Pujol.
He makes it. Tough find under the basket off the offensive rebound.
And that's more of what you want to see from the Gladiators, getting their own offensive rebounds as opposed to the Wolves taking them.
Alison Day driving in against Samantha Roscoe. Gets it to go. Lovely play there by Day.
Nice roll.
She's up to 13 points personal. And again, we're seeing that trap defense by Oaklands, and they're unlucky they're not to regather the ball.
Yeah, that was that one when it happened down and it came off Samantha Roscoe's leg. That's exactly what Hannah Robb went for, but she did a really good job Day of getting her legs out the way.
And we've got another timeout here. Both coaches making sure they get their full quantity in tonight.
Making sure the ticket holders get, you know,
yeah,
what they've paid for.
Just over, 4.5 to go. The Gladiators lead 74 to 58. And it's a really interesting matchup. Both coaches looking to obviously get certain details out from their timeouts across their team.
They are, and like I say, even with the lead, I don't think, you know, the game's still not over. It can still be won by whoever. But also, there are going to be things both teams can still improve on that they can still get better at, and that's what they're going to be looking at, and that's what they're going to be looking at now in those timeouts. Are we a bit early for me to ask who you would have as, I think it'd be tough to pick out player of the game today.
Yeah, I think it's still a bit early for that. You've got, from a Gladiator point of view, Erin McCarrican with such a brilliant contribution off the bench tonight. We've been massively impressed by Wade. Thompson's coming into our game now, making some shots, where she made some shots earlier on. Second and third quarter, Gladiators did a good job on her. So I think we've got plenty of time. There's still an outside shout that Oakland's going to run and we have a bit of a tighter game.
Yeah, and I think also sometimes what we can look at is the contribution on the stat sheet, but sometimes actually you notice people, like you look at your Georgia Smith who's come out and just been solid, Sarson whenever she subbed in, been solid, you know, and they bring something to the team that's not necessarily the digits, because that's as important in itself. Like Lake and James' contribution tonight, you've totally noticed her, she stood out, but she's maybe because she's not sitting that top 3-ish for scoring at the moment.
Gladiators off inbound. Shot clock dropping down here. Less than 5 seconds in the possession. Quick shot by Roscoe. It's off. And not the best shooting night for Samantha Roscoe. She's maybe also not really taking her open looks.
No, I feel that was a forced shot again, but it was a decent enough look considering the shot clock was winding down. It didn't look like anything else was going to appear.
Sarson getting through the traffic. Drive by Wade, who pulls up. Lovely looking 2
Just
point.
such a nice turn of pace and great like body control to be able to be going, attacking the hoop, pull yourself
stop,
back
yeah.
and go vertical.
Really nice play there by the Wolves guard. Roscoe out to Hannah Robb, looking to establish Bintu. She drives herself along the baseline, up and under, but Kopel's onto it. The big Austrian blocks the ball and Wade's out and running. Looks to see if she needs help, doesn't take it, and that's another quick 2 points. And it's down to a 12-point lead for the Gladiators. This is the run we were waiting for the Wolves. Patient play there by the Gladiators, up and under.
I was about to say, this is going to sound daft, but good patient play by the Gladiators, but they could play with a bit more urgency. You know, they're moving the ball, but they look relaxed about it. You want them to still be attacking, you know. I think there's a difference between being patient and being sort of laid back.
Yeah, and you saw it there. You saw Hannah Robb was like, she could have taken the shot, she played the extra pass, and then it just, the momentum kind of came out of that play there, yeah.
Fizzled out.
Bintu at the line, misses the first, just over 3.5 to go. The Wolves will be in foul trouble for the remainder of the game. You've got down below us the Gladiators men's team watching the end of this game unfold before they take to the floor against the Bristol Flyers. Kopel under pressure from Samantha Roscoe. Sarson. She's really ran the offense really nicely in this rerun they've had.
Indeed.
She's got the mismatch, up and under play, doesn't go. Nobody really gathers the rebound, ends up in Bintu's hand, and she's forced to put the ball on the floor, which is, you saw on the floor there, Erin McCarrick and Sam Roscoe, they also all went away from her there.
I know, and you could see they were trying to come back and help James and Rob, but you could also see the Wolves were like, perfect, this is exactly the situation we want it to be in.
Open look for Erin McCarrick for 3, and she makes it. Erin's really taking her opportunities tonight. We're seeing the scoring she can play, and we saw this version of Erin last season as well. She's finally coming to the party as such. 19 points for the Scottish and GB international. Fouls on the floor. I think on Hannah Robb. It is, it's her 4th personal foul.
Yeah, just saw it a little bit late. You could see it coming in there. It came over the double team. Smart though, giving the foul on the floor, so you're not putting them on the line.
Sideline ball for the Wolves. Shakira Wade with the ball in hand. Very impressive tonight. Thompson. We've seen that quick release from 3. She looking to establish that shot, doesn't get it. And that's the 4th shot. You saw great on the ball defending from the Gladiators there, forcing 2 of their main scorers to pass out the ball.
Yeah, you could see they were thinking about it, but they knew it wasn't the right option, which is smart play. It was just, unfortunately, didn't get a better look after that.
The Garrigan catch, turns around, goes for 2, ends up on the floor, protecting herself.
Yeah, I thought at first she'd been hurt, but then I think she was actually going, nope, I'm just going to
roll up into a ball,
like a
yeah.
tortoise. We've had a couple of them tonight where they've been in there.
It's got to be, I wonder, Gladiators ball. I like that from the referee. He really kind of took out a potential dangerous situation. Yeah, Gladiators had the ball, but you don't want anyone jumping on anyone. Gladiators now struggle to turn in, but it turns into McCarrigan's hand. Opportunistic McCarrigan tonight. She now gets a rebound, but I think it pushed off. I think she's been called for a foul there. She's not happy with that call.
No.
And
I think
Wade
she
again
was saying
stretching
she
out her
did
back.
what she did because of what had happened to her. If I can decipher.
Wade struggling here to stand up. She looks very uncomfortable now.
I really hope it's a hammy or something that's not her back. Looks like it's maybe more.
She doesn't want to check out.
I thought she could move there for a minute, so that's good. That's grand. She's actually okay.
Yeah, she was bent over for a long time there trying to touch her toes, whether it was stretching out or uncomfortable. Yet she's ready to check back in. So
usually when I'm down like that, that's it. You're not seeing me for about 3 months.
quick shot by Thompson. And again, a fight for the rebound, and it goes in the favour of the Gladiators.
You feel like Bintu there just held off the player to let it go out, but actually there was too much court left. You need to just grab the ball.
Confusion on the bench. Was Wade checking back in or not, but Coach Lee Ryan's cancelled out the substitution. And the game remains. We're under 2 minutes. The Gladiators lead by 15. And will look to close this victory out and restart the league campaign with this W. Sammy Roscoe working hard to get her points tonight.
I think at this point in the season I've seen her doing better work on the inside, whereas at the start of the season, yep, we're nailing threes, but that's what she's going to have to do. If the threes aren't going on a particular day or night, she's going to have to get herself inside, because she's got a lovely touch and some really nice footwork.
Zier drives in. Look, a great handoff there. Day for three, high arcing shot, doesn't go. Again, a fight for the rebounds. And it's out of bounds.
That's almost one of those ones for Wolves you wanted it to go in, because it was such nice ball movement, wasn't it?
It's interesting, fighting for the rebounds there. The Gladiators, two bigs, or Bintu and McCarrigan up the court, and it's our guards going for the rebound.
Yep, but you have no idea what they've been coached up, have you? It's maybe whoever's closest or whatever, sure. And then the others, because you want to have runners, you don't want to not have runners.
79-62.
Oh, little kick of the ball there.
Kick ball, Gladiators ball.
Yeah, I think Abbott just pushed the foot out there. Maybe a bit of frustration.
Subs are in for both teams, I think. Yep. Lewis Gale returns to the floor for the Wolves. Kirsty Brown comes back too. And it's been a really interesting rotation in Ortega's bigs tonight. Bintu's seen large actions, Kirsty Brown's seen a large part of the court as well, and Pritchard did a good job staying out of foul trouble, or fouling out.
Yeah, she did. Showed more maturity once she was on 4 fouls to keep herself in the game.
Looking to get Kirsty Brown under the basket. Now looking for help. Lakin James for 3. Makes it. Brilliant shooting from the American. 82-62. Turnover, is it? Thompson regathers the loose ball.
Of course she does. She is everywhere doing everything.
We're into the final minute here. Hannah Robb still fighting till the end. Bintu in the open floor. High off the glass layup here. An impressive closing minute to this game for the Gladiators.
She didn't have no travel on that one. She made sure.
That was only her 2 steps. Into the final 30 seconds. Nice step crossover. Foul on the floor. Final 26 seconds. Wolves. Zia puts the ball on the floor. Dra looking for the cutting player. Doesn't go. Carrasco Menendez is unable to gather it. And we're into the final 20 seconds here at Play Sport. The home team, Caledonia Gladiators, look to have put away the Wolves.
Mundane, but that's all 4 quarters. They've finished with the ball. If they don't turn it over.
84-62. The Gladiators look to establish Bintu underneath. She goes for it, makes the 2 and is pushed under the basket. And Miguel Ortega's side battling till the end. Bintu, 8 points, 10 rebounds. She's got a chance for the and one to go 9 and 10.
And I'd say that's something you've not seen from the Wolves today, you know, daft fouls like that under the hoop.
She misses it. Kirsty Brown unable to gather the ball.
So they won't close out the quarter.
And they won't close out the game with
Unless
the ball.
they then turn over.
Well, we've seen on the inbound play the Wolves have struggled to get it in, but with 8 seconds remaining in the game, the Gladiators still going out in the full court press here. Oakland will likely have to get the ball across the half court. And there we have it. The buzzer goes. Coach Miguel Ortega's side take the victory. 86 points to 62 over the travelling Oaklands Wolves. Rona, a brilliant game that the Gladiators in the end win the quarter by 22-10. But who is your player of the game for, I suppose, the Gladiators?
I think Erin McGarrick, and the way she came out, the way she lit it up, you know, she was slightly further down the rotation, but she's come out, she's nailed the big shots when they needed it. She's, you know, got after it on the free throws, had some nice, you know, rebounds. Honourable mention to Lakin James, I think how she's hustled and how played as well has been great. Nice to see Ariadna Pujol looking more like the player that we know she can be. Over in the Oakland side, I think, you know, Wade, Thompson, they could flat out ball, you know, the way they were knocking down shots, the way they were able to change direction, go against the grain, still knock them down. Really nice team, wish them luck, you know, rest of the season, obviously still to travel back down there and see how that goes.
Erin McGarrick leads the Gladiators in scoring 19 points. She had 5 rebounds to go with an index of 19. For the travelling team, Wade had 20 points, an impressive performance. And we were saying early on that she was holding her back, and yeah, what a great game we've had here at PlaySport. The home team are in the centre circle, ready to time out. We're waiting on someone to join Annie at the end of the game for an interview as Miguel comes over to the half court. A great win for the hometown team as they look to get the second part of the season going.
Yep, and I look forward to Manchester Giants back here next week. Tickets are available on Fanbase. If you're not able to get down to PlaySport for the men's game, which tips off at 3 p.m. today, you can also catch that on the stream, so that'll be well worth a watch as well. Hopefully have the men take the win.
3 p.m. the tip-off is for the women's game here next Sunday, the 11th of February, and we're ready to go courtside. Annie has Donny for his full game analysis.
Okay, perfect. We came out strong in the third quarter, won it by 5, even more in the fourth quarter. What was the main takeaway? What was the main takeaway in the half-court team chat?
I think at halftime we spoke about the fact that we scored the ball well, a little bit like me and you spoke about in the halftime break, but that we wanted to improve our defense. So, you know, we stuck with it. I think we were aggressive in our defense, created some turnovers which gave us some fast breaks, and just had confidence in what we've been working on through the week.
Yeah, that answers my second question. I was going to ask what the coaching staff was most happy with, but maybe I'll go in with what do we need now to work on this week?
Yeah, I don't think our 1v1 defense was at the level that we really want it to be at. Our help rotations can improve as well, but our basics start with how we play 1v1 defense. So I think that's going to be a key for us going forward, and then just continuing to build in the offensive end.
That's great. Thanks very much, and it was a great game. Thanks, Donnie. I'll pass it back to Rona and Grant. Up that comes.
And as we said, they're next home next Sunday against the Manchester Giants. So hopefully see you then. If not, you can catch up me and Rona on the YouTube stream. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, have a great Sunday.